The armies were already drawn. Thousands of men. Thousands of weapons. And yet, the war was about to rest on two men alone. One fought for honor stolen. The other fought for a love he never earned. And if one of them fell, 10 years of blood would never happen. This duel could have ended the Trojan War before it truly began. No Achilles' rage. No Hector's death. No Trojan horse. Just one fight. One decision. One cowardly moment. That changed history forever. This is episode 15 of Trojan Mythology. The duel between Paris of Troy and Menelaus, king of Sparta. A fight arranged to end the war peacefully. A moment when the gods, the armies, and the world paused. And then, everything went wrong. But to understand this duel, we must understand why both sides agreed to it. Because by this moment, the war was already spiraling out of control. The Greek ships had landed. Blood had already touched Trojan sand. Protesilaus was dead. The first sacrifice made. And now, both armies stood facing each other. Spears lowered. Shields raised. Nerves burning. But neither side truly wanted a full war yet. Because everyone knew the truth. This war existed for one woman. Menelaus stood among the Greek kings. Armor gleaming. Jaw clenched. This war was his fault. Not because he was wronged, but because he had been humiliated. Helen, his wife, taken. Not killed. Not lost. Taken by another man. And every Greek warrior knew it. Menelaus did not just want Helen back. He wanted his honor restored. And that honor had a name. Paris. Across the plain, Paris stood behind Trojan lines. Beautiful. Well-dressed. Calm. Too calm. He was not like Hector. He did not carry the weight of the city. He carried a bow, perfumed armor, and Helen's love. Some Trojans admired him. Many despised him. Because every spear aimed at Troy was because of Paris. Hector turned and looked at his brother. And his voice cut deeper than any blade. Do you see what you've done? You brought war to our gates. And now you hide. Paris said nothing. Hector stepped closer. If you are the cause, then be the solution. The soldiers listened. The challenge had been spoken. A herald stepped forward. His voice echoed across the plain. Let this war be decided by single combat. Paris versus Menelaus. Winner takes Helen. Loser dies. The armies murmured. This was rare, dangerous, and perfect. Because it meant no more blood. Menelaus did not hesitate. He stepped forward. Sword in hand. Eyes burning. This ends today. The Greeks roared. They wanted this. They needed this. Because killing Troy for one woman already felt wrong. Paris froze. Not for seconds. For too long. The Trojans noticed. Hector noticed. And shame fell like a shadow. Paris had stolen a king's wife. But now feared facing the husband. Hector grabbed Paris by the armor. If you wanted Helen, you should have wanted war. Paris' face burned. Helen watched from the walls. She said nothing, but her silence screamed. Finally, Paris nodded. I will fight. Relief spread. The war could end right now. The gods watched. The earth waited. Before the duel, both sides swore oaths. Animals were sacrificed. Wine poured onto the ground. Zeus was invoked. Justice was promised. If Menelaus won, Helen returns. If Paris won, the Greeks leave forever. This was binding. Even gods respected such oaths. Or so mortals believed. From Troy's walls, Helen watched. Two men about to kill each other. Because of her? One she married. One she chose. Her heart was not calm. It was torn. Menelaus strapped on heavy armor. Bronze shield. Long spear. Sword sharpened with rage. Paris armed differently. Lighter armor. Bow at his side. Not a warrior's setup. A hunter's. The difference was clear. The signal was given. They advanced. Menelaus moved like a storm. Paris moved like a shadow. Spears flew. Paris' spear missed. Menelaus struck true. Paris staggered. Fear flashed across his face. Menelaus pressed forward. Shield slammed. Sword raised. Paris fell. Dust filled the air. The Greeks shouted. This was it? The war was ending. Menelaus grabbed Paris by the helmet crest. Pulled him upright. Sword ready. Paris gasped. This was death. Helen's fate decided. Troy's fate decided. History balanced on a blade. And then? The strap snapped. Not by chance? By divine will. Paris vanished. Pulled from the battlefield. Saved by Aphrodite. The goddess who started this war. Refused to let it end. Menelaus stood alone. Sword raised. Enemy gone. The Trojans stared. The Greeks screamed betrayal. The oath had been broken. By a god. Paris appeared in Helen's chamber. Alive. Breathing. Cowardly. Helen was not grateful. She was furious. You should have died, she said. And she meant it. The Greeks demanded justice. The Trojans denied guilt. Spears were lifted. Arrows notched. The duel had failed. And because of that failure, thousands would die. The war could have ended with one strike. Instead, it had just begun. Menelaus stood frozen. His sword was still raised. His arm still tense. His breath still heavy. But Paris was gone. No body. No blood. No victory. Only disturbed sand. And silence. For a moment, the battlefield forgot how to breathe. Menelaus roared. Not in triumph. Not in pain. But in fury. He spun, searching the field. Where is he? Where is the coward? His voice cracked across the plain. The Greeks shouted their anger. They knew what had happened. This was not chance. This was divine theft. Among the Trojans, confusion spread. Some believed Paris had fled. Some believed he had been killed. Some whispered the gods had intervened. Hector looked around. He saw no victory. Only shame. Because even if Paris lived, the duel had failed. And Troy's honor hung in the balance. Agamemnon stepped forward. His voice was cold, controlled. "The duel is finished," he said. "Menelaus stands victorious." The agreement was clear. Helen must be returned. The Greeks banged their shields. They were right. By mortal law, Paris had lost. From the walls, King Priam listened. He was old, wise, tired. He knew the truth. Returning Helen could end this war. Refusing could destroy Troy. But how does a king surrender when a goddess has interfered? Priam said nothing. And silence is sometimes a decision. Hector clenched his fists. He did not love Paris' actions. He did not defend his cowardice. But he loved Troy. And returning Helen meant humiliation, submission, weakness. Hector understood something terrible. This war would not end cleanly. Above the battlefield, the gods gathered. Zeus watched. Hera was furious. Athena burned with rage. Aphrodite smiled. Because Paris lived. And that was all she cared about. Zeus spoke. "Let the war end," he said. "The duel was fought. The Greeks have the right." For a moment, peace hung in the air. Then Athena stepped forward. And peace died. Athena despised Paris. Not because of Helen, but because of the judgment. He had chosen Aphrodite. He had insulted her wisdom. And now, he would pay? But Athena could not break the truce herself. She needed a mortal. Paris stood among the Trojans. A skilled archer. Proud. Ambitious. Athena appeared beside him. Disguised. She whispered. "Break the truce. Strike Menelaus. End the illusion of peace." Paris hesitated. This was sacrilege. But Athena promised glory. And men have always chosen glory over wisdom. The bowstring tightened. The arrow flew. It cut through the air and struck Menelaus. Not fatal, but enough. Enough to shatter peace. Enough to restart the war. The Greeks screamed betrayal. The Trojans shouted defense. Shields slammed. Spears flew. The battlefield erupted. The duel was forgotten. The war was reborn. Menelaus did not die. The arrow glanced. The wound was shallow. But it did not matter. Blood had been drawn. And once blood touches the ground, words become meaningless. Agamemnon raised his voice. "Enough? This ends now?" He lifted his spear. And with that single motion, the full Trojan War began. Paris eventually returned. Alive. Uninjured. But something had changed. No cheers. No pride. Only looks of contempt. Even Trojans despised him now. Because this war was no longer about love. It was about survival. Helen looked at Paris. And saw him clearly for the first time. Not as a lover. not as a savior, but as the man whose fear doomed thousands. She turned away, her silence heavier than words. This duel was not a side story. It was the last peaceful exit. After this moment, Achilles would kill Hector. Troy would burn. Children would die. Empires would fall. And all of it traces back to this single failure. Mortals often blame Paris. But the truth is darker. The gods did not want peace. Peace offers no worship, no glory, no sacrifice. War feeds gods. And so they chose war. From this point forward, no duel would end it. No negotiation would stop it. The Trojan War became destiny. Not because men wanted it, but because gods engineered it. This is the cruel truth of war. Even when a solution exists, pride rejects it. Even when peace is possible, someone benefits from chaos. And history remembers the blood. Not the moment peace was offered. Paris versus Menelaus. One cowardly escape. One divine intervention. That is all it took. Not 10 years of build-up. Not fate alone. Just one moment, where courage failed. Every war begins this way. With a chance to stop. With a reason not to. That is why this duel matters. It is not ancient. It is human. The armies clash again. Heroes rise. Deaths multiply. And Troy steps onto a path it can never leave. The Trojan War could have ended here. One duel. One decision. Instead, history chose tragedy. Next time, the war escalates. Hector begins his rise. Achilles enters the stage. And the cost of this failure becomes unbearable. Subscribe to Trojan Mythology. Because from this moment on, there is no turning back. Thank you for watching till the very end. If you're still here, it means you truly enjoyed the story, and that means the world to me. If you haven't already, make sure to subscribe to the channel, click the bell icon, and share this video with someone who loves mythology as much as you do. Your support helps this epic journey continue, episode after episode. Once again, thank you for watching, thank you for staying till the end. And I'll see you in the next chapter of Trojan Mythology.